You know, I'm not here to compare my situation to anybody else's situation because at the end of the day, we are all struggling, especially in this economy. And although my situation is not as worse as anybody else's, it still is a struggle. So again, it's not about the comparison because in this economy, the overwhelming majority of us working class people are struggling. And I am one of the millions of healthcare workers who's living paycheck to paycheck. I want to give clarity on a couple of things. You can make a lot of money in healthcare, but it comes at a cost. I wanted to hop in and be a part of the conversation that Casanova started about truthful disclosure about your finances in this economy. Some of y'all gonna be like, you make good money, you make good money. I do. But when I look at my check as a healthcare worker, I'm lucky if I get half my check after federal taxes have been taken out, after state taxes have been taken out, after my retirement has been taken out, after all of the shit that they charge me a la carte on my insurance, my vision, my supplemental disability. I barely get a little bit more than half my check. And it's a lot of people in healthcare that make well above minimum wage like I do that are still living paycheck to paycheck. And I'll be very honest. I owe the IRS about $20,000 in back taxes, almost $20,000 in back taxes that I give them a payment for every month. I have credit card debt. I have a car note, and I still have a small balance on my student loans, but it's still debt. I live in DC. And living in DC is not cheap. And I make well above minimum wage. And even though I'm not struggling to pay my rent, and the only reason why I'm not struggling to pay my rent is because I took my time to find something that I knew I could pay without struggling. But I don't live in a luxury apartment. I don't live in no extremely safe, nice, clean neighborhood. The neighborhood that I just moved to is pretty decent. My apartment is more than decent. And my rent is only $12.50. In DC, but Southeast DC. That comes at a cost. And the only reason why I'm saying all this is because with all the stuff that we are being taxed on, the cost of living, it's crazy. And I see why people crash out. Because you got to go to work and you have to put up with all the frustrations of dealing with what you have to deal with at your job. And then when you get your check, the overwhelming majority, if not all of your check, goes to bills, meaning cost of living. And I have definitely made my mistakes when it comes to my financial literacy has not been the best, like most Americans. So to all you motherfuckers that want to get on here and try to be like, oh, you should know better, you should know better. The overwhelming majority of Americans don't have good financial literacy. That's why so many of us are in debt. But that still doesn't mean that the cost of living does not need to be motherfucking addressed. Because I work hard for what I have. Like right now, I got a stack of tickets that I haven't paid because I don't have the money for it right now. Every time I turn around, I get a ticket in the mail. Even is that the cost of living isn't just your rent. It's gas. It's the cost of living. It's the cost that you have to pay if you take public transportation. Insurance is sky high in DC because you don't have a lot of parking spaces in DC. So you have to park on the street and they tax the fuck out of you for, regardless of if you have a good record or a driving record. And I don't have a bad driving record. I don't. But like I said, I got a stack of tickets that they keep sending me. And the tickets that they sending me ain't $20 or $30. 70, 100, 150. And then if you don't pay the motherfucker in 30 days, they double it. In this fucking economy. And at the end of the day, they still have systems in place to keep you down even when you make good money. So like I say, even though my struggle is not as bad as some people, it still is a struggle. And at the end of the day, our system is broken and it needs to be fixed. That's it. That's all. Bye.
I was embarrassed to make this video, but I'm gonna just do it anyway because like I seen Casanova's like Age of Disclosure video, and it just really like broadened my perspective, and I'm like tired of struggling in silence, and I know a lot of people are struggling in silence, so I feel like it's just time to tell my story. So back in 2024, I graduated from college with my bachelor's degree in computer engineering, right? I scored an internship after I graduated. Like I was just working like this like electrical company, just like some IT like support desk job, right? It was cool, wasn't something I really liked, and I didn't get paid much, but you know, it's an internship, so that makes sense, right? I was working there for I think like a good 5 months during the internship, just hoping like, you know, if everything works out, I can eventually go like full time and like, you know, get a real job, right? It works out. I end up working full time, and I worked for about like 4 to 5 months before I realized the sad conclusion that the company I worked for wasn't very profitable, wasn't making a lot of money, and unfortunately I got laid off. Woke up one day to an email, couldn't sign into my account, and realized, yeah, I'm out of a job. I went the next 5 months of being unemployed, like broke as fuck, like literally no money. I was applying and applying and applying. Like that's the thing, like I know like most people, they try to apply for like something that they really want, but me, I was just so desperate to come up on some bread. Like I was just applying for anything, like Wendy's, McDonald's, like Walmart. Nobody was picking my ass up, right? And this shit continued on for like 5 months. Like I would say like going like 2 months into being unemployed, like I had a couple of dollars saved up, but after like 2 months, like all that shit was gone, and I literally had no other option but to start donating plasma. And I don't know if y'all know this, but like, you know, donating plasma doesn't get you a lot. Like you're probably making like $40-50 every donation, and you only can donate like twice a week. So I'm at this point only making like a little under $100 a week. After like 5 months, I end up working at this restaurant as a fry cook, right? And I'm making a cool $19 an hour, right? But in this economy and the way that things are going, like it's literally nothing. Like before taxes, I'm making like $750, $760 a week, and then after taxes, I'm only making like $650 a week, right? I live with my mom because I can't afford my own place. Like I've been looking for apartments, and I've been looking to like rent and get my own place, right? But the thing that sucks is like, especially in Atlanta, bro, it's like you'll find a place and they'll be like, oh, rent is only like $1,100, $1,200, right? So I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, that's dope, that's cheap, that's not too bad, I think I can afford that, right? But then it's like, how they get you is that they start adding on like all these amenities. They'd be like, oh, if you want to use the gym, that's like another $100. Oh, you got to pay for parking, that's like another $100, right? So after all these fees and amenities and all this extra shit adds up, your rent goes from like $1,100, $1,200 to like $1,600, damn near $1,700 for just a basic ass 1-bedroom apartment, bro. And it's not like, oh, it's a gated community, oh, it's a luxury apartment. Basic ass apartment going for like $1,500, $1,600, right? Didn't make matters worse, no apartment out here is just picking up people that don't make less than like 3 times the rent. Everybody wants you to make 3 times the rent. I don't make that much money, so I can't get an apartment. And then to make matters worse, because I don't own my own place, I am considered like a one-time renter, like a first time, that's what it were, a first-time renter. So because of that, nobody wants to lease to me because they don't trust me. I don't have anything to back up like, oh, I'm a good person that can be living here at this apartment complex. I'm literally fucked. 25, living with my mom. Never would I think like, holy fuck, I'm 25 still living with my mom. And it's like, I'm just fucking stuck. I can't do anything. I don't make enough to get my own place. I don't make enough to just survive and like really get something going for myself. And it's like the only reason why I'm somewhat able to keep my head afloat is because I live off of my mom. If my mom passed away, I would probably be homeless right now. And it's just like, oh my fucking God, like it is genuinely terrifying how scary that is. Like, because I know there's so many of y'all like Gen Z just like me, where it's like you live with your mom, you live with your parents, and it's like, you know that like if it wasn't for them, you would be fucked. Like you would be homeless. Like you would not be able to survive on your own. Knowing all of this, knowing the state of the economy, and knowing that shit probably will never get better for at least another 10 fucking years from now, it's like, man, fuck the future.
Hey YouTube, everywhere online right now people are talking about this new age of disclosure trend on TikTok. It's basically where Americans admit they can't keep up anymore. So today we're looking at this wave of TikToks and the conversations exposing how expensive life has gotten and why so many people feel completely stuck.
3 weeks ago is when I got my letter from the IRS saying that they were going to live in my bank account. 3 weeks ago. I was already at a zero. Like I was already just barely hanging on. I knew I didn't have a job. I knew that I didn't know where my next dollar was coming from. I was still actively trying. And then I get that letter in the mail. That day, trigger warning, I wanted to myself because I could not handle that level of stress. And regardless as to what the stress is stress. And especially in the capitalistic country that we live in, where we know that you need money in order to do literally everything. We know that you need money. We know that there are no jobs. Things are only getting harder. Nobody wants to watch the things that they work for walk out, get thrown on the streets, and watch people, strangers, walk up and take it away, and there's nothing you can do about it. Watch your car that you paid thousands of dollars for just be repossessed and driven away and given to somebody else, or you have to pay more money to get it back. Nobody wants to watch, their prized possessions get thrown out as if it's garbage. Nobody wants to watch that. And that's where I was 3 weeks ago. And people like message me and they tell me that they've considered it. I completely understand, because financial stresses don't get talked about when the topic of stress comes up. Nobody talks about that. Because if they talked about financial stresses, they would have to talk about livable wages. And they're not going to do that. That's why we have to talk about livable wages. We have to make this such a pressing issue that it gets addressed, and there's no way around it. This gets addressed. The working class sacrifices nothing else. Nothing else, no more. The age of sacrifice is over. We cannot do that. You cannot keep skimming from the bottom and think that you are going to keep building up the top. That is not how they work. I don't know if anybody's ever played Jenga. It gets to a point, okay? But yes, I completely understand what that's like. And that is something that does not get discussed. So if you've ever felt that way, trust and believe you are not alone. That was me 3 weeks ago. Now I'm at a point where I just got a job. It's not ideal, but it's something, and I want people to stop being embarrassed about being victims of this system, because apparently the worst thing in America that you can be is broke. We all know that. Look at the president. Apparently you can do whatever you want to the kids and you become the president. You can be a serial unaliver and you'll get a fan club. But if you're broke, nobody looks at you, nobody acknowledges you, nobody wants to help you, and we can't have that anymore. It is literally time to pivot this entire culture that we have in this country. Also, something that I want to add in, I don't feel like that currently. Like, I don't feel like that anymore. Just in case anybody was worried, this is just for the video.
I've been so embarrassed to say this, but somebody said it was the age of disclosure and that more people should disclose about how they're doing financially as Americans. So let's just be honest. I work 40 hours a week. I can't afford an apartment. I physically can't afford an apartment. On paper, I can afford it. But after taxes and everything, it would be a strain. But I also can't afford to live in hotel rooms, because hotel rooms have gotten way more expensive and they're about the same price as a high dollar apartment. So I've been trying to do that. I am like $30,000 to $40,000 in financial student loan debt because I was trying to get my bachelor's degree to fix my life. Unfortunately, the government decided that a psychology degree wasn't worth it, and so my grant was taken and I don't qualify for student loans anymore because they say that my income to whatever ratio far outweighs how much it would cost to pay back my student loans. So I'm stuck in a dead-end job trying to make it happen. I can't qualify to get an apartment because my credit is bad from when I had a mental breakdown and I quit my job and I had to use my credit cards in order to pay for everything. Then I'm homeless. I am living in hotel rooms or living in my car sometimes if I can't afford a hotel room because I'm trying to pay back all of the stuff on my credit for an apartment that won't even put any of the payments that I make onto my credit. So they use credit as a way in order to qualify you, but they don't actually put any of your payments for you paying your apartment on your credit. It's bad in America. Like, it's very bad in America. I'm blessed to have the job that I have, but I can't physically afford anything. I have been trying my hardest to try to, budget my way out, try to pay back things so that I can afford an apartment. In the meantime, I can barely afford food. I can barely afford to put a tank of gas in there. I used the last of my money to put some gas into my car because we're expecting some bad weather and I want to be able to at least get somewhere in case it happens. Gas is at like almost 4.50 a gallon. I am struggling so bad. I don't even know how I'm doing this. I'm trying my best to be enthusiastic and to be happy, but I am crying on a regular basis and I feel like I'm drowning. And I don't want to say anything to anybody because I don't want to lose my job, because they're firing people for being homeless. So I don't even want to tell them that anything. I've just been holding so many things inside that I can't take this anymore. Like, I just really wanted to say something to somebody because it hurts. It literally manifesting as actual physical pain, how much stress I have no family. My family doesn't give a fuck about me and hasn't for a long time. I was going through the worst time of my life and they just basically told me to get through that shit. I had 2 mental breakdowns back to back, lost my job, lost my benefits, lost my apartment, lost my dog, lost my best friend, lost everything. And nobody gave one singular fuck. And I've been doing all of this shit alone with very, very, very minimum help. Apparently I make too much money to be able to benefit from any of the programs, but I don't make enough money to be able to afford my anything. Like, I am eating once a day, if that, in order there. I still go to the gym because it's the only place I can go to charge my phone and to be somewhere without somebody trying to call the cops on me, which has happened a couple of times. Simply just sitting in a parking lot because I didn't have nowhere to go. It's been rough the last couple of months. All I want to do is get my own apartment so that I can feel safe. But that looks like that's not even going to be a possibility anytime soon. And now 2 of the credit cards that I have are actively suing me in court. And so I tried my best to put in some payments in order to stop them from suing me. And the payments are taking pretty much my entire check. So that's what's going on with me. It feels actually good to say all this out loud. It's kind of embarrassing to tell a bunch of strangers, to be perfectly honest. But honestly, it just feels good to get it off my chest.
One of the biggest things people keep saying is that they did everything right and they still can't afford basic stuff for their life. People with full-time jobs are saying rent eats most of their paycheck before groceries, gas, or even bills happen. And what's crazy is this isn't just minimum wage workers anymore. It's teachers, office workers, healthcare workers, basically everybody. The gap between wages and the cost of living just feel impossible now.
It's early morning. Excuse my appearance. I am making breakfast for my family and enjoying the birds chirp, but I wanted to come and share because I have been scrolling through TikTok this morning and I have come across multiple age of disclosure videos. People are struggling out here in the world. And I love that everybody is being so transparent to share that they are struggling so people can stop feeling like it is something to be ashamed of. I want y'all to know that it is all by design. It's on purpose. If we run the cost of living up sky high, if we never increase the pay, if we make groceries too expensive, cars and car maintenance too expensive, if we make it to where clothes are 5 times what they used to and 1/3 of the quality, you see what I'm saying? If we poison the food, then they'll get sick and then they'll have to come get medicine and then we'll really be able to stick it to them with their medical care. It's all by design. And here's my opinion why. People make emotionally charged decisions when they are desperate. If we make them desperate enough, they'll do anything we want them to. They'll take any job we want them to. They'll ignore all of the foolishness that we're doing in Congress with the laws because they're desperate. They're in survival mode. What's the solution, Ashley? Hear me. Y'all are not going to like it, but here's the facts. Some have already figured it out, but some of y'all are struggling with this because of pride or ego. Marriage is the answer for some. There are some men and women out there that would thrive in a partnership. I'm not going 50-50. You are struggling to do 100% by yourself. Why are you turning your nose up to 50%? And for anybody to say it, because I'd rather pay 100% by myself than be cheated on by a man. There's a man somewhere saying the exact same thing. Ladies, we've got to stop acting like men are the only ones that cheat, when in reality, women be cheating too. Women will use a man the same way a man will use a woman. How about we ignore the people who are cheaters and manipulators and we find the ones that want true partnership? We get together, we raise these kids together, and we figure out how to get out the hole. Now, if marriage isn't something you want, I respect it. I understand it. We need to bring back the community living. You do not have to live by yourself. Get a roommate, get 2 roommates, get 3 roommates. If you don't have a village with your family, create your own village. Just think about this. We could literally starve the 1% out, because instead of living in 3-4 different apartments or homes, what if we stopped needing our space? And I live by myself because I do it by myself. What if we dropped that mindset and we all moved into a 3-bedroom together? Now you got 3 incomes in one household. Now you're splitting 3 ways for the rent, for the utilities. What if we actually started cooking again for real? What if we actually start learning how to garden? I know that's not for everybody, but baby, even if you just grow some potatoes on your balcony, even if you just learn how to grow, I don't know what else you grow on the balcony, you can grow stuff in buckets. What if we actually learned how to start being more self-sufficient on those ends? What if y'all stopped thinking that you got to go get brand new clothes every time you go somewhere? What if we started actually sewing the buttons back on the pants instead of throwing them away? Do you get what I'm saying? And then instead of them being able to rent out these absolutely unaffordable apartments, these homes that they are charging an arm, a leg, and a left titty for, what if they realize, wait a minute, I have 30% of my rentals empty, 40%, 50%, because people are living together. What if we realize that the after school programs are no longer needed because now it's 2, 3, 4 adults in one house and y'all are all helping watch each other's kids? A lot of people laughed at the Hispanic community when 3 and 4 families would be living in one house. The African community, the Asian community, we're the only ones that don't help each other. All I'm saying is it is time for us to realize that there are power in numbers. There's power in numbers. It's more of us than it is them. If we start working together instead of working apart, yeah.
Okay, sitting here at my desk, watching, just scrolling through TikTok, and I'm seeing a lot of the age of disclosure videos. And I feel like I want to join the conversation. I pride myself on being fairly honest. If you ask me a question, I'll give you an honest answer. I don't normally volunteer information, and I wear my mask very well, but I'm tired. I am a single mom of 3 boys, with the oldest being in college, a senior in college, and the youngest being 7.5, so a second grader. I'm only telling this for context, not for sympathy, not for excuses, anything like that. I make almost $57,000 a year, and I remember when I got this job, 2 years ago, I was so excited because I never made over $50,000 a year, and in my brain, everything was going to be fixed. I'm finally making some real money. That real money has turned into chump change now. I live in the outskirts of Nashville, Tennessee, because the rent prices in Nashville drove me away. But even now, based on the economy, my rent that I pay for my 2-bedroom under 1,000 square foot apartment is basically the ghetto of my city. I live in the hood of my city, literally. I know you see these nails. These nails are from Shein, however you say it. They're $1.50. I buy my kids' clothes through that using Afterpay, because that's the only way I really can afford to clothe my children that are growing like weeds. I drive a 2010 Lexus that was given to me by my dad and stepmom. That car now needs brakes, but the brakes for that car, because it's a Lexus, cost $1,300. $1,300. I can't afford that because right now, in order to pay my rent one month, I had to take out a title loan against that car, and I'm still having to pay that back. I live through the benefits that my online bank gives me. So I am taking out my pay loans, which is basically taking money from my check that I'm going to get the next time, or, oh, you qualify for this instant loan. I do that. Everyone's like, why are you single? Why don't you have a boyfriend? I can't afford to go anywhere to meet anybody. So if he's not finding me at my church where I'm serving, he's not finding me at the grocery store because I'm shopping for these kids, I don't know where I'm going to find a man or see a man or have a man approach me. My only indulgence for myself is I get my hair done. Right now it looks a mess. I just took a style down and I need to wash it. But every, 8 weeks, I pay $145 to get my hair done. And even then, that is okay, this week I can get it done. Well, nope, it needs to be done right now, but we're going to have to stretch it for another 2 weeks. Even then, I take my kids to the barber college 30 minutes away in order for me to pay $25 for them to get haircuts instead of paying $65 collectively for them to get haircuts closer to me. It makes no sense. I love my job. I don't want to look for another job because I love my job. It allows me a lot of freedom. It's not stressful, which I've had stressful jobs for so long that I don't want to give this up. But I've also, for the last 2 years, had to work at Target part-time during Christmas to even give my babies a Christmas. And that's working an additional 25 to 30 hours a week on top of my 40 hours a week at my at-home job. My kids hate that because they want me at home. It's something's got to give. Something's got to give. I don't know what's going to give. I'm also tired. I am so tired. I want to take my kids on vacations. I want to take them to the newest kids zone, slide park, trampoline park. I want to be able to do all those things for them. But when I'm trying to figure out and finagle how to keep lights on, which my lights are prepaid. I'm on the prepaid plan. So it's just a matter of keeping so much in my account so they don't turn my lights off. My cell phone bill is paid by my sister because we're all on a plan, and she pays for me and my middle baby, my 14-year-old. She pays for our bill, but she doesn't have any kids, so that's not something she really complains about. But it shouldn't be on her because I should be able to do it. Something's just gotta give, and I don't know what's gonna give. I don't know, but it's stupid. All of it is stupid, and quite honestly, I am tired. I pray a lot, and literally my prayer is, God, you gave me these kids. You have to provide for these kids, and He continues to do it. Is it stressful? Absolutely. Am I still stressed? Absolutely. I am still stressed, and it just doesn't. It doesn't make, I don't know. So I don't understand jobs not giving a living wage raise every year when the cost of living goes up every single year. But last year, I think I got a 57-cent raise or something stupid because my supervisor wanted to say that my communication wasn't good. We don't have to talk that much, quite honestly. I don't know. I just thought I'd join the conversation. I haven't even begun to talk about my health care, dental care, vision care for me and these kids. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother one.
A lot of these videos hit hard because they're showing normal everyday purchases that suddenly feel expensive. People are walking out of grocery stores with 3 bags after spending over $100, and everyone relates instantly. It's not even luxury spending anymore. It's eggs, snacks, drinks, basic meals. That's why this trend blew up so fast, because almost everybody has had that moment recently.
Okay, age of disclosure. This shit sucks. So I get paid $21.81. It was just 21. I recently just got a raise for 81 cents. Okay. So the cost of living in Virginia, that barely covers anything because my rent is almost $2,000. You got your electric bill that ranges from $200 to $400. And then I am getting garnished from an apartment that me and my mom got together when I was 19 years old. I'm 30 now. So this is a 10-year-old garnishment. And they're taking $400 to $500 out of my $21.81 check. And my rent is almost $2,000. Granted, I do room with my sister, but that's still half my check. And now they're taking $400 from each check for an apartment I don't even stay in anymore. That apartment was in my mom's name. I was co-signing on it. But my mom doesn't work a job, so they're gonna come after me. By the time I finish paying everything, thank God I have overdraft protection. Let's just say that. It's hard out here. I don't know how they expect us to live, but I think that's the gag. They don't expect us to live. While Confederate groups in Virginia just got their tax breaks cut. But anyway, I know we all going through it, so if y'all want to share y'all stories in the comments, I really feel like Casanova Brown said, we need to start talking about this shit, like, so we can really get mad about this shit, so some shit can change, because this is ridiculous. We're literally out here dying, becoming homeless, getting sent to jail because we homeless, all because a few families in this fucking country are greedy beyond belief, so we just all have to suffer. Fuck all of this. Let's burn this shit down.
I wanted to add to the age of disclosure conversation because why the fuck not? I'm not ashamed of anything going on in my life right now because I'm not in control of it, but the fucking government is, or that's what the fuck it feels like. I had a breakdown the other day because I am lost as fuck. I have no idea what it looks like for my future as an individual or for my family, and that's so fucking frustrating because I'm the person who's always two steps ahead. And we all know if you're not 2 steps ahead, you are one paycheck away from being fucking homeless. And I'm a stay-at-home mom, and not by fucking choice, but because I can't find childcare. Can't find childcare because where we stay, the wait list is so fucking long that she'll probably be in high school by the time she gets approved for it. My husband works, has made the most money he's made since we've been together. You can't fucking tell. Can't tell because the cost of living is so fucking high. We stay in Florida where a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom is $2,000 and less than 1,000 square feet, and they believe that they can tax out the ass because we stay by the beach. The fucking beach is the earth, bitch. Sand and fucking water. You're charging me for sand and water, and we don't even stay by the beach. We just buy the fucking water because we're in fucking Florida. But what else? We drive a $2,000 Durango that was gifted to us because we can't afford to get another fucking car because the cost of living is so fucking high. Can't save because the cost of living is so fucking high. Our AC does not work because we can't get it fixed because the cost of living is so fucking high. We're literally paying for fucking necessities, and even then we don't live beyond our fucking means. We just want to live. We guilt trip ourselves so fucking bad because we just want to have a good fucking time. We will have a date night that we are so deserving of and can't even enjoy it because we feel fucking guilty the entire fucking time. It's extremely shitty. And I've tried. I'm a fucking hustler. I can do hair. I can do makeup. I can fucking bake, bitch. I can cook. I've tried every fucking thing and it's still not enough. Because I stay in an area where they fucking haters and they want to see a black woman win. The fuck? So it's so hard, and I have no idea what to fucking do anymore. I have to rely on God because if I rely on anything else, I will be 6 feet fucking under because I'm so tired of this losing fucking battle. That's what it is. So this is my contribution to the fucking age of disclosure conversation.
Another thing people are exposing is how impossible saving money feels now even when they're trying to be responsible. People are budgeting, skipping out on eating, avoiding vacations, and still ending the month with barely anything left. A lot of younger Americans especially are starting to feel like major milestones are permanently delayed. Buying a house or even moving out comfortably feels completely unrealistic for basically all Americans.
I've been seeing a lot of age of disclosure videos recently. People coming out and talking about their financial hardships given the current political and economic state of the world. And I saw a woman's video yesterday where basically she was saying, I'm on poor talk, I'm on struggle talk, I'm on broke talk, I want to go back to rich talk. Oh my, y'all just don't handle y'all money well, and that's why y'all fucked up and da-da-da with the bam. And I just thought that was so extremely tone deaf, especially given the fact that she said that she was just homeless 2 years ago. and now I guess she's a millionaire off ebook courses or whatever the fuck. Like, you was just broke, but now you can't. Now you don't have empathy for broke people. That's crazy. First and foremost. Second of all, you don't need to be currently hindered by the world burning around you to acknowledge and understand the fact that the world is literally burning around you. Wages have plateaued. The jobs aren't paying more if you can get a job at that, because they're also not hiring. They're not paying more and they're not hiring. At that, the cost of living is increasing drastically and steadily. Like, the amount of money I'm making right now, I'm cool. Like, I wouldn't say I'm struggling. I'm cool. You feel me? Like, for my age, for what I got going on, you know, I budget well. I'm cool. You feel what I'm saying? But I often think about the future and the fact that at this rate, I'll probably never own a home. 20 years ago, making the money I'm making right now, I probably could have owned a home and took care of a family. I probably won't be able to do that unless I get another job, unless I get a side gig, unless I start walking dogs for money or whatever the fuck. Bro, if your solution to jobs literally refusing to pay their employees more, everything has like a tip option now. It don't matter what you do. You can tip anybody because they're not paying more. They want us to pay people who are in the same financial situations as us more because they're not paying more. If your solution to wages not increasing is to say, well, you just got to work harder, just got to get a side hustle, just got to get a part-time job, you got to start walking dogs for money, you got to start, bro, that's some slave shit. I'm sorry, bro. That's some slave shit, bro. They don't got to do whips and chains no more. All they got to do is make you have to pay to survive.
My car is on E right now, and I still pass by the gas pump. Something that I've been seeing a lot of people get on here and talk about is like the age of disclosure, like Casanova Brown's like video saying that there are so many people struggling and that is something that we probably should be shedding more light on. And as a nurse who's in my mid-20s and who lives in Mississippi, which is always touted as having the lowest cost of living, I think it's quite literally insane the way the majority of us are living right now. I think it's so sinister and it's just so disheartening when you have gone to school and you've dedicated your life to a profession that is very noble. Like, nursing is very noble. You help people, and it still feels like I am living paycheck to paycheck, even making six figures, even with picking up shifts, even with sometimes 80-hour work weeks that I work. It still feels like it's just impossible to make ends meet or to like get ahead and save any money and to do anything extra. And I'm not an economics professor or a financial analyst or anything of the sort, but I just feel like it is so very much insane that there are lots of us who are making six figures and still have roommates and still are struggling to make ends meet and are still living paycheck to paycheck, even though we are making the most money we've ever made before. And I think that just goes to show like we really are erasing the middle class. The things that my parents were able to do for me and the amount of money that we were able to live off when I was a kid, it is just not that anymore. I mean, do you know the amount of vacations and things that I could have taken with the money that I have now back then? Like, it is just not the same anymore. And I know that I'm not the only one, because I know a lot of other people who are my age, some of my friends included, who all of us have done all the right things, gotten the degree, gotten the good job. We pay our bills, maybe have a side hustle, and nobody is talking about that. And nobody is saying that even though the numbers are the numbers are simply just not working out the way they used to. The math just is not the same. And I think it's just very, very sad that even with all of the work that we've put in and all of the things that we do, that we still have to sit at the gas pump and we have to do that mental math in our head, and we still have to drive off knowing that we need gas.
You can also tell people are mentally exhausted from feeling like they're always behind financially. A ton of these posts aren't even angry anymore. All of them sound defeated. People are working longer hours, side hustling, driving for apps after work, and still stressing after every month. When survival takes all your energy, people naturally start speaking about it online and start to give up.
Casanova Brown started an age of disclosure conversation that I want to contribute to. So although this might be a little different from my normal content, I hope you stick around and I hope you contribute as well. Because what I've realized from many of those who already have is that folks are struggling in this economy. Now, I'm an older millennial. I'm 40 years old. I have a young child. She just turned 2. Having kids in this economy has proved to be very challenging. My wife, who did very well for herself as a designer, quit her job in 2025. The reason, although she made pretty good money, paying for childcare left us with only $500 per month of income on her side after covering childcare. Now, $500 might sound like a good chunk of money to a lot of people. I'm not trying to downplay how much that is, but for us, it wasn't worth our child being raised by a daycare center. Both of us constantly hustling. So we made a decision for her to stay home and be that primary care provider for our daughter. I own a house. Prior to my daughter being born, my wife and I both working, we were making in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, which sounds like it should be plenty of money to live. And it was for a long time. But post-COVID, our HOA payment for my house skyrocketed. I live in Florida. This was due to insurance, they say. So not only did my insurance grow in terms of what I pay for coverage for my walls in policy, but over the course of a year, my HOA tripled. My HOA payment is equivalent to what my mortgage payment is. This caused so many people in my community to sell. We attempted to sell, couldn't find a buyer before the market turned here in Florida. So we're now renting. What we charge in rent covers the costs of the HOA and the mortgage. Now, we long made the decision to leave the United States because the cost of living here is just too much. Because we couldn't sell the property, getting it rented was a major step. We're currently living at my in-laws' house. My wife, myself, my 2-year-old. Again, I'm 40 years old and I make pretty good money. But the only way that financially we could support a normal middle-class lifestyle is to leave the country. Like most millennials, my wife and I both have student loans to cover. My student loans alone are almost $1,000 a month. Most Americans are living in debt, and that includes me. Now, I do have savings, I do have investments, so I am in a position where I can cover emergencies. But day-to-day life, normal monthly bills, compiled with the cost of living increase on things like food, electricity, not even counting going out to eat or vacations, like throw all that stuff out the window. To me, that's all very unattainable in this economy. And it's the reason why I preach leaving the United States altogether. And I am following my own advice to do so. But again, I realize that in itself is a privilege that not everyone can obtain. It does take savings. It does take the ability to either work remotely or generate some type of income remotely. But I want people to realize that no matter where you are on this class spectrum, even upper middle class folks like myself are struggling financially in this country, in this economy. I also quickly want to address the elephant in the room, which I think is the fact that everyone is in debt. And perhaps this is going to come across controversial. I don't care. In many cases, climbing out of debt means breaking a cycle. And that cycle is you having to take out more debt in order to cover emergencies. The only way you're going to break that cycle is by prioritizing which debt is actually important, especially in an economy where everything continues to get more expensive. For me, the priority is pay yourself first before any debtor. And I've seen a ton of people talk about how they've attempted to do that, and debtors were freezing their bank accounts or reaching into their bank accounts and taking money. In order to learn to outsmart the system, you need to learn to hide your money. Stop keeping your money in banks. They are not your friend. Learn to use cryptocurrency to hide funds. Learn to use foreign tools to hide funds. This way, whether by court order or even when lawyers are paying folks to research to see where and if you have money, it does not show. Now, when an emergency comes, you can actually cover that emergency by pulling from those accounts rather than taking out more debt or falling behind on active debt, like a rent payment or a car payment. Number 2 is prioritizing which debtors actually get their money. Prioritize the assets you actually own, your car, especially if you're using and need that car to get to work in order to make money. Make sure that's paid on time. Your rent or mortgage, no brainer. But credit cards, fuck them. Specifically, if you cannot afford it, if you cannot afford to pay yourself, fuck the credit cards. Let them go to collections. Don't answer the calls when they call you. Ignore them. Yes, it will fuck up your credit. Who cares? You're already struggling. Stop stressing about it. Especially to those who are planning on leaving the US, your credit is not the end-all be-all. It doesn't even matter in most places outside the US. Medical bills, fuck them. Speeding, parking tickets, fuck them. Yes, that can affect your driving record, your ability to hold a license. That's why I said prioritize, right? You have to think these things through. What could happen if I do pay or don't pay some of this debt? If collectively we all decide no one's getting money because we don't have it to give, the system starts to crumble on itself, which is what we need. So protect yourself and the things that you actually need, right? Prioritize, but don't allow financial stress to cripple you. I don't mean for this to come across as preachy. My attempt here to show that all income levels in this country are feeling the effects of this. We should all be prioritizing our own well-being, saving as much money as we can, and choking out big business. Let them feel the pain just as much, if not more, than we do. Hope it helps.
As a millionaire, this is my age of disclosure. I'm so irritated. So my insurance for me and my son is like $750 a month. Typically, I don't have a bill. I go to the doctor, I pay a little $20 copay, which, why am I paying a copay when I pay y'all? Anyway, I pay the copay, I move on. I went to America's Best the other day because I was like, I'm tired of wearing contacts. I'm about to switch to glasses and I want these Meta glasses. So I go and they say, hey, there is a problem with your optic nerve. So I'm like, uh-oh. So I have to go see the ophthalmologist. I go to the ophthalmologist. I do all of that. And my insurance kind of was not answering the phone. I was like, go ahead and proceed with the appointment because brain, eyes, too close to be playing with. I need to know what's going on. I go to the ophthalmologist, everything is fine, cool. But he does tell me go see my PCP to get a CT scan and an MRI to make sure it's not a brain tumor. But he's like, I'm pretty sure it's not. He was like, this is not telling me that you have a brain tumor, but just go, double check. I go to schedule my appointment with my PCP. I see I have a bill for $900. I don't know where this came from. Come to find out, my insurance never paid the bill. So they're like, hey, call your insurance, get this squared away. The insurance is claiming that the PCP sent the bill in after the 90-day period, and that's why they rejected the claim. My primary care proved that is not the case, so I had to call the insurance back. They said, oh, it was a system glitch. We denied it. We're going to reassess the claim. This was last week. So in my head, I'm like, okay, they're going to do it. It's going to clear this bill. I can proceed. They did make my account back active for one day, so I went in. She was like, yeah, you should be fine, but we're going to order the CT scan because insurance doesn't like to pay for MRIs. The person that schedules that will call you on Friday, which was May 1st. May 1st was my birthday, so I kind of was like, I'll deal with this on Monday. Monday, I called. I was like, hey, I never got a call. She says, yes, your account is back inactive because your insurance has still failed to pay the bill. They haven't even initiated the claim. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, oh, I'm going to give it another day. Today, all day, I hear nothing. I call the doctor. They say, yeah, they're not being responsive. I call the insurance, and the insurance tells me, oh, yeah, we're not paying for that. Now, this $900 appointment was for a strep throat test, a flu test, and a COVID-19 test. $900, okay? Oh, and they also have an x-ray on my account that I don't recall getting, but I'm going to deal with that tomorrow. My problem comes in with the fact that I pay $700 a month for insurance, pay a copay, and my copay when I go see like the dermatologist or anything like that is another $50. So I pay all this money and then they get on the phone and tell me, hey, you actually have a $5,000 deductible until you personally spend $5,000 extra on top of what you pay as a month. We're not paying for anything. So I didn't know this because I'm not a sickly person. And in the past, I've never had a bill. They typically take care of it. I don't know what has changed with my plan, but now I have a $900 bill, and anything that I get further from here on out, up until I meet paying $5,000 out of my pocket, in addition to this $700 a month, they're not paying for it. So on one hand, I'm like, I'm not going to keep paying y'all $700 a month, plus copays, plus an additional $5,000 until y'all start paying for stuff. But on the other hand, it's like, dang, if I cancel my insurance and then something really does happen, I'm screwed. So in conclusion, I'm paying $700 a month just to say, oh, I have insurance. But is it useful? Not at all. And I'm not a sickly person. So I guess without me going to the doctor all the time, I maybe go 3-4 times a year for a cold or allergies or something like that. If I'm not using it, I don't realize that this is a problem because in the past, like I said, they've been paying a bill. I don't know what changed between last year and this year. But yeah, now I'm stuck with the $900 bill and my health insurance bill is due again in like 5 days.
What makes this trend different is how honest people are being compared to a few years ago. Instead of pretending everything's fine, people are openly admitting they're struggling and realizing millions of others are feeling the exact same way. That shared frustration is probably why these TikToks keep spreading everywhere right now. It's less about complaining and more about people finally admitting the economy feels broken for regular Americans.
If you think for one second that you're the only one going through any sort of hardship, you are sadly mistaken. And I'm going to tell you what our counterparts are doing because they're struggling too. I'm going to tell you what they're doing to survive that Black people just, y'all refuse to implement into your life. They're filing bankruptcy. Let me tell you a little trick. I put this on a different video, but I'm going to put it right here since we're doing the age of disclosure. You can literally file bankruptcy and get a thing called an automatic stay. You don't even have to like let it go all the way through. Like you don't even have to like really commit to it. You can file it, okay? And it will put a stop to any sort of collection activity. And you could do that, honestly, up to like 5 times. You could do it like 5 times before they be like, all right, we see what you're doing. The next thing, I live in a neighborhood, all of our homes are $400,000 and up. Do you think for 1 second, like just think, these people are paying themselves through their businesses and they're using the money from their businesses to live. And on paper, their income is nothing. So they're getting all of the benefits. I know my neighbors are getting benefits. I even noticed my neighbor used to have a cleaner come every Friday. Every Friday there would be this van outside. That van don't be there every Friday. He'd be there like every other, maybe once a month I might see that van. Homeowners, if you have an FHA loan, I don't know nothing about no conventional loan, okay? If you have an FHA loan, you have something that is called a partial claim, like partial claim funds, okay? And it is up to 30% of your original loan amount. So if you have a $300,000 loan, you have up to $90,000 of partial claim money that you can basically move your mortgage payments to the end of your mortgage. America's finna burn anyways, guys. You can use that as a cushion to give you a fucking break, a breather, to not be worried about keeping a roof over your family's head. And it's nobody's business. Nobody has to know. Just call your mortgage company tomorrow. Tell them that you broke a finger or you broke a fucking leg and you need to use your partial claim deed, your partial claim funds, and they have to give it to you. Get rid of that expensive ass car. I am a car girl. I had 2 2021 Chevy Tahoes. One of them I sold back to the dealership. The other was stolen. And I almost replaced the car. Like when I filed the insurance claim, I almost replaced the car. And I was like, actually fucking no. Actually no. Because it's so expensive to rebuy that car now. It's damn near like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more expensive than it was when I bought it. Get you a gas saving car. Gas is $5 a gallon. The way that you are going to survive is by not worrying about what other people think about you. And whether you want to admit it or not, that's why this is the age of disclosure, because you guys have hidden things for so long. You're trying to put up this facade like you're living a certain lifestyle, and it's just not so. And I'm saying that to you as a business owner, as somebody who sells products to consumers. I can tell when people aren't as frivolous with their spending. Clothes. Target has a really nice selection, guys. And I will say, if you have kids, your best bet, so you're only spending, say you got 3 kids and you go to Target and you spend $400 a piece on each kid every season. Okay, you go beginning of the year, you buy their spring and winter clothes or whatever. Summertime, you go take this shit back to Target. You take this shit back to Target, you get your points or you get your money back and you buy their summer shit. When you get done with that summer shit, you take it back and you buy their back to school stuff. You reuse that money over and over again. I have so much shit in my house, so many clothes and shoes and shit. My kids grow so fast. They're all, oh my God. Oh God, it's so much fucking money to take care of these kids. But I help other families buy shit. I'll go through everybody's clothes and I'll 4 contractor bags full of clothes, $200, $300, $400. Take it. Shoes, clothes, anything you can fucking think of, pajamas, all of that shit. You can have it. Take it. And I'm going to use that money to buy my kids some more stuff. Any programs that you could take advantage of, you got, I don't know if I want to say this. If you have, like, it's like a utility assistance program in your state, y'all, they don't really verify shit. Do with that information what you will. You got your kids' social security cards and shit? I can't pay this light bill. Call them. Use all of your resources. You got a sibling, you got a homegirl, y'all gotta learn conflict resolution and how to deal with other people, because for real, it's gonna come down to everybody combining homes, and that's how you're gonna survive. Gas is $4.99 a gallon. I was just talking to my fiance. I'm like, hey, I think we should get electric vehicles, because the amount of driving that we do and the amount of gas that is, we've really saved on the bill, because I have not been driving this year because my ankle has been broke damn near since February. But when I seen that $4.99 today, fuck a truck, fuck a duck, fuck all that shit. I want a car that you just plug in. I want a car that you just plug in. Groceries. I want to tell y'all about my Sam's Club little hack so fucking bad. I don't want to go to jail. But I'm telling y'all, it's shit that you can do, so you ain't got to do all this disclosing. Disclose the hacks. Disclose the tricks. Disclose the ways to use the system to your advantage to survive out here. Because, again, if you think that these white folks ain't going through the same shit, they're liquidating their assets. These motherfuckers are moving out of the country because they see America going down. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Work your motherfucking hand. I think that's another thing that we done lost too. Our parents, my mama, I don't know how she did it. I did see that lady work. My mama did not go to work. She had a nigga. My mama did not go to work. I don't know how the fuck she did it. We always had nice things. We always stayed in a nice house. I didn't even know we was on Section 8 the whole fucking time. Had no clue. Had no fucking idea. And she just made that shit work. She made it look good. And I think we lost the art of that. We lost the art of that. We want to live beyond our means. Right now, you need to live below your means. My city, when I decided to close my salon and my storefront, as a business owner, you have to do projections. When you're looking at sales and stuff, you do 5-10-year projections based off of the customer's spending, like your average order value and all those things. It is the dumbest thing to open up any sort of retail storefront right now, because the people are not retailing. If you get rid of as much of your overhead as you can, majority of your businesses could be run out of a storage facility. If we're being honest, most of the businesses that I see online are like clothes and bundles and things of that nature. You could pay $300 a month, $200 a month for storage and put all your fucking inventory in there. You don't have the overhead of paying an electric bill, paying a vector. You don't have to do all of that stuff. And I know, like, I really be trying to preach this, because people be like, damn, how the fuck? I have 5 fucking kids, guys. 5 of them motherfuckers. If you don't listen to nobody else on this app, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you.
So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys all have a great day, great night, great yada yada yada, great everything, you know what I'm saying? Because you guys are my viewers, like, you know. I just hope everything goes right for you guys. So yeah, peace out. Hope to see you guys in another video. And yeah, peace out again. Peace out, you know what I'm saying? Oh, also, if you made it this far, comment that down below, bro. I'm gonna heart your comment, because this video took a long time to make. Did you see this video? An hour long. Like, that is crazy, you know what I'm saying? And usually I don't do videos this long, but if you guys made it this far, comment something down below. Say, like, I watched the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? I'll heart your comment, give you a little reply if that matters to you guys, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not that special, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Just, bro, if you've been here long enough, then you might as well be acknowledged for it, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I think about it, but if you guys don't want to, totally understandable. And, you know, if you're still here, maybe you, I don't know why you're still here, because there's no other clips coming. Maybe you just like me. Yeah, maybe I'm a W creator. But yeah, hope you guys all have a great day, and peace out.